Welcome to an enlightening journey. This educational content offers challenging insights. Approach with an open mind. The link for the study guide can be found in the description. Subscribe to join the exploration. Let's dive in without wasting time. Mindful living. Embracing presence for your inner peace and fulfillment. Introduction. Hence, the essence of embracing a more meaningful and purposeful life attitude becomes imminent. Such wisdom of life might be manifested by several degrees of a more cognitive and reflective way of thinking at one's deeds, the aspect which can help you greatly equate your pace with the eagerness of your mind. Furthermore, you might as well need to freely grasp the characteristics of enhancing respect, understanding, compassion, and kindness while relating with yourself and the very purposefulness of your life in general. The wisdom of life is vividly experienced through the realizations and in the actual depth of an activeness of the mind that binds one to experience constant awareness to daily dilemmas and capable of shape-shifting the non-performable course of life into the unforgettable one, and so becomes the essence of going mindful. We are forever surrounded by countless moments and situations, and such constant presence, interaction, and participation become the enablers to what seems to be a totally fascinating life journey. However, it's an open secret that various aspects related to modern social living often tend to complicate our very own perceptions and aspirations. The never-ending race towards the ungraspable summit of prosperity, comfort, and eternal wellness is all that we're often chasing. Unfortunately, the complexities that dictate the threshold of any further psychological and spiritual depths turn out to be also the potential barriers in our way. Hence, at the point when we start finding life to be more of a challenge than a discovery, overpowered by our daily routines, anxieties, distress, and other life complexities, make us lose numerous valuable life experiences and lessons. Chapter 1. The Importance of Mindful Living. The challenge at hand is to fully immerse ourselves in the current activity. Many of us have the tendency to focus on one thing while our minds are already preoccupied with the next task, whether it be a meeting, dinner plans, or the upcoming weekend. When our minds are not fully present, we are prone to forgetting, overlooking, or making mistakes, leading to unnecessary stress and frustration. In our fast-paced, technology-driven culture, we often neglect to slow down, appreciate the present moment, and take advantage of the opportunities for meaningful connections. Due to constant distractions, we fail to recognize the beauty and positivity that surrounds us in the here and now. It's important to understand that our impact on the world lies in the present moment, in how we influence those around us, how they, in turn, impact others, and how we shape our future through our daily interactions. Mindful living allows us to pause every now and then, creating a genuine connection with ourselves, others, and the world around us. Although the term mindful living is commonly used in the Western world, it originally derives from Buddhist teachings. Mindful living can be seen as a form of meditation in itself, as well as a way to incorporate meditation into our daily lives without needing to sit on a cushion and meditate formally. The word mindful signifies being aware and caring, not only for ourselves, but also for the world around us. It simply takes a small amount of awareness to pay attention to our actions. Many of us, including myself, often complain about not having enough time in the day. However, the truth is that the lack of time is not the core issue. The problem lies in trying to juggle too many things simultaneously or constantly having our minds occupied with multiple thoughts. I am personally guilty of this myself. We create our own stress, mental fatigue, and headaches by overwhelming ourselves. Therefore, we must learn to let go of anything that does not benefit us and instead focus on the one thing that truly matters. It becomes evident how crucial it is to set aside time for mindful practices. Keeping a journal can be an excellent tool to support this process. Through journaling, we can reflect on moments where we have been on autopilot and then observe how it feels to be fully present without judgment. The more aware we become, the less control unconscious habits of living have over us. We can practice noticing one thing each day that typically occurs in the background of our minds. After completing this assignment, what was the first thing you noticed? What followed? How does being mindful throughout your experience affect your mood or level of presence? One of the misconceptions about mindfulness is that it serves as an escape from a chaotic life or a way to numb ourselves from emotions and experiences. However, genuine presence is only achieved through mindful living, which involves embracing the chaos, joys, and discomforts of everyday life. Nurturing awareness revolves around presence, repeatedly returning to ourselves, lovingly and compassionately. It entails allowing the multitude of who we are to come forth, including our strengths and limitations. This means creating space not only for our power and resilience, but also for our vulnerabilities. Once we comprehend and let go of our ego, we can truly relax and surrender to the flow of life. This book aims to guide you in finding balance within yourself, discovering intrinsic joy and achieving success, both in terms of personal fulfillment and physical well-being through yoga. Success varies for each individual, but many versions of success necessitate love and good health. However, there are times when we lack the energy to attract success in these areas. Sometimes our health may be compromised. Hence, it is essential to maintain equilibrium in all aspects of life. We must take the time to build our strength and address our needs. When our spiritual and physical selves are in harmony, everything becomes more effortless. A tree can easily be lifted by pulling from one side and at the base. This analogy illustrates the importance of balance within ourselves. Another pivotal point emphasized in this book is the pursuit of balance. This is where the book can provide valuable assistance. Achieving balance is a challenging endeavor, whether it is finding balance in our daily lives or trying to stabilize our bodies in yoga poses, not to mention emotional equilibrium. As we journey through life, we often stray from our balance point, exaggerating and swaying haphazardly. Physical therapy, for instance, focuses on reestablishing balance following an injury. In regular physical therapy, a therapist may place the patient in an imbalanced position and allow them to find balance on their own. In doing so, the therapist highlights the importance of small movements and overcoming obstacles. People residing in tropical jungle regions with mountainous terrain are less susceptible to balance issues because the land is never flat. They inhabit hilly areas, enabling them to instinctively navigate with balance. For those of us in urban environments, we exacerbate the lack of balance by walking from high floors in office buildings. Anatomically, these individuals may possess stronger bodies and better balance. Even when we sleep, we struggle to find balance. We rest on beds that are themselves unstable. As a result, we often change our positions during sleep in an attempt to maintain equilibrium. Practicing mindfulness allows us to tap into the energy that would otherwise be wasted through high blood pressure, emotional burdens, and physical and psychological symptoms that push us towards an autistic state. Stress is defined as the body's response to various demands and events, and objective measurements of stress always incorporate hormonal markers such as physioadrenocorticotropic activate and pituitary adrenal cortisol feedback. While these measurements focus on the biological aspects of stress, psychological parameters also play a significant role, as our brain's perception of stress-related stimuli determines our emotional reactions to higher stress levels. It can be argued that practicing mindful awareness or various types of meditation can heighten emotional arousal and reduce negative emotions. Mindfulness involves cultivating a different outcome, the regulation of stress perception, and the release of emotions by detaching ourselves from stimuli that typically elicit emotional responses. The principles of awareness suggest that perceiving passively diminishes emotional reactivity to negative stimuli. In other words, mindful individuals only experience emotional responses when it is essential to do so based on the valence of the stimulus, prompting cognitive analysis and potential reactions to environmental cues. Chapter 2. Practicing Mindfulness. The truth is right now. The secret of our lives is hidden within each breath. Strive to bring about good thoughts, positive actions, and kind words within the limit of your possibilities. If we are not capable of showing the love of our Lord in the small things of our lives, how will we be capable of showing it through our big acts? Thoughts, debating, analysis, fears, and regrets can take your breath away, drown into your presence again, and sink into your heart when you feel life is like a torrent dragging you. Stop, remember your act of love, feel your heart beating, and listen to the life beating through your heart. You have the advantage of being alive, of being who you are, of loving and feeling love. Hey, wake up. Living involves some creative worries. According to Buddha, we have 3 roots of evil: aversion or rejection, hatred, desire, greed, and ignorance. How can we embrace mindfulness in our daily lives? The simple answer is to cultivate the habit of living in the present moment every single moment of your life. In theory, it seems pretty easy. Just live in the now. In fact, it's quite a challenge because our mind is always dissipating in other thoughts, events, and worries. There are various methods of conscious breathing that can be used. One useful way is the 6 healing breaths, inhaling and saying silently, "I am," joyful, filled with love, free. Then you exhale and silently say to be, born in my in-breath, born in my wonder. This conscious breathing method may be done throughout your day several times. You may concentrate on this training for 1 or more weeks during a lunch break, in the office when you need to do something requiring great attention, when you greet somebody you love. If you train daily, consciously, one day you may have the chance to visibly be able to smile from the deep down of your beings despite great sadness. My daily companion, my breath, can always help me set aside some time to be alive and in the present moment. Through the breath, I can experience freedom. For example, when I look at a mountain landscape or at the ocean, or when I go for a walk with my friends or among the trees, I can feel the marvel of life. I admire the generosity and the love that were put into this universe. However, these moments of mindfulness are going to fade away very quickly. Then I can direct my attention toward my breath, go back and be in the present, and return to freedom. One classic technique in body scan meditation is to feel your breath in the particular region you are focusing attention. You may not find this easy as the breath is rarely as palpable as it is during breathing meditation. It may take a bit of time and patience. An individual's rhythm of progress can greatly depend on the current level of mindfulness and calmness of the mind. Ultimately, practice will get the breath manifestation to your satisfaction. The sensation of breath in a relaxed state creates a deep sense of calm in the surrounding body region. While relaxing a certain part of the body, the meditator can make use of phrases such as "let go," "easing out," just for a gentle mental nudging. As the practice deepens, the physical sensations start merging into the conscious mind and lose their significance until they dissolve, leaving the mind in a state of pure mindfulness. In body scan meditation, the meditator uses his or her body as the subject of concentration. Starting from one end of the body, head, the meditator focuses the mind fully on small segments, or regions, of the body one at a time, facial muscles for a minute or 2, followed by the back of the head, top of the head, part of the back, front torso, back torso, etc., including arms, forearms, palms, fingers, and then gradually towards the lower parts of the body. The fixation is exclusively on the particular segment that the meditation is about. If focus deviates, then gently bring back the mind to that segment. This meditation involves repeatedly scanning the body slowly and thoroughly with the mind. Every part of the body gets the undivided attention for a fixed period of time. With diligent practice over time, you can achieve an innate sensitivity to what's going on in your body. The same sensitivity which you employ to gauge your anxiety can also be used to gauge your happiness and peace too. It is only a matter of observing. The key here is to observe and be in the present moment. In mindful eating, we bless our food with our energy of love and joy. Once love and joy are infused in a dish or meal, they have gained flavors that anyone can really taste and appreciate. Eating mindfully gives us the advantage of not wasting our precious food and time. In addition, we can almost certainly expect inviting smiles from satisfied guests and reaping the joy of fruitful and happy dining time, as opposed to moments of wasted food and time, as well as destructive food criticisms. Also, being satisfied with what we have allows us to be conscious of the environment and to minimally processed, tailor-fit quality food by the mere understanding that eating is an empowering thought and energy-consuming act of care for our well-being. We all need to eat to support life, to survive, and to thrive in our lives. Eating, however, may be taken for granted when it should be a special moment that we celebrate thanks to the nourishment and life it provides us. One excellent way to make our eating time special is to eat mindfully and allow the time to be an enriching celebration of nourishment, community, creativity, appreciation, and enjoyment. Mindful eating is an excellent tool that adds quality to this time. Mindful eating also gives us the advantage of proper and effective eating. Chapter 3. Creating a mindful environment. Similar to how nature affects us, colors also heavily influence us in terms of our mood and how we perceive things. For your mindfulness practice, prefer earthy tones such as green, blue, and gray. These will make you feel grounded and cozy. Therefore, they will aid you in relaxing. Of course, find the power combo that suits your mindfulness the best. Being tidy and keeping your living space organized will aid your mind in being less cluttered too. The act of cleaning itself can also serve as a meditative process in which you're releasing your negative energies along with the dust gathered over time. Therefore, try to set some time aside for regular cleaning in your weekly plans. Do not forget that an organized mind will reflect itself in your physical world. The state of your body is a reflection of your mind too. Avoid wearing restrictive clothing that hinders your movements or clothing that makes you uncomfortable in proper posture. Make sure to spread that cozy atmosphere and presence to your wardrobe. Your surroundings can affect your mindfulness. So, create a mindful environment at home. Keep it organized, clean, and clutter-free. Just as our living space reflects the state of our mind, the state of our mind reflects in our surroundings. By curating a quiet and cozy space, we can relax and open up to ourselves more easily. Decorate your home with the things you love: plants, art, maybe some pets, books, flowers, etc. Carefully select the colors for your home that soothe you. And of course, create a comfortable meditation space that excites you for your practice. Most importantly, bring in nature as much as possible. When prompted to declutter your living quarters, consider an alternative approach. While Shauna Niequist suggests making the lofty goal of removing 5 things a day from our home, you might find it more invigorating to set aside a weekend day to collectively focus on an intentional space emptying. Dwell on sharing the things you no longer find beautiful or useful for blessing others. Hosting a friend or family member, or making an intentional effort to meet with local organizations such as the YMCA, churches, group homes, pregnancy resource centers, and food pantries can help you to gift items to people and places that will make good and lasting use of your possessions. Our living space can greatly affect our emotional, mental, and physical well-being. Chaos can fragment our efforts to be fully present in our home. Mess can heighten our feelings of anxiety, and steady disarray can contribute to our life feeling out of control. Practicing mindfulness with intentional and frequent clutter-busting movement will further anchor your sense of being where you are, even through a stormy day. Sorted and easy-to-use living quarters will also foster an environment of calm and clarity that can translate into heightened joy, peace, and unity. When you live according to Jesus' words to live without storing up treasures on earth, it is easier to seek and follow the higher callings of openness, unity, selflessness, abundance, compassion, joy, peace, humility, and love. These divine gifts are ready within each of us to be uncovered and shared with confidence, whether we are renters or homeowners, blessed with mansions, cottages, or tiny houses. When we delve deeper into our own awareness, we reach a selfless place where creativity is encouraged and priorities tend to filter themselves for us. As such, sometime each day is best spent not focusing on any one thing, but allowing any thoughts or sensations to be. Be like a stone skipping across an intuitively flowing river, carefree but always where it needs to be. This free time could easily be spent outdoors where the planet and all its fruits were never meant to be ignored. Our natural environment perpetuates its beauty and charm with or without human presence, and when surrounded by each awe-inspiring sight, hearing each mellifluous sound, and smelling each respective aroma, many find it far easier to be present right here, right now, than they had ever thought possible. The more often we wander in that essence, we will develop the ability to call it forth. Additionally, you may want to incorporate some natural elements into your surroundings to boost your awareness of nature's flow. Many people have a hard time beginning meditation due to the negative stigma it has garnered as of late. However, it has multiple benefits as long as you refrain from giving any outcome to your practice and simply acknowledge each thought or feeling that invades, and then gently put it out of your mind. Also, consider purchasing a Zen garden to escape the common stresses that build up throughout the day. Being fully present in a well-crafted, truly natural space allows for even fuller mental decluttering than meditation, and you don't have to remain seated or keep your eyes closed when participating in such activities. With any method you choose, practice your focus element for a few minutes every hour, every other hour, or as often as you essentially can. What stimulates a profound sense of calm for you? Consider how to infuse these feelings into your physical space so that it becomes a peaceful sanctuary. By taking conscious control of creating an external environment that reflects the one you choose to feel inside, it has the potential of making an important contribution to your inner peace and resilience. Create a sacred space in your home that may consist of personal, treasured items or elements that bring you joy and inspiration. Whatever experiences, memories, or people bring you happiness, here's an opportunity to reap more of these positive emotions and put them on display. Remember, once you become aware that your physical environment is actively contributing to your state of mind, you give yourself the necessary tools to become an empowered custodian of your own internal state. When you are surrounded by a peaceful space, be it in your home or office, it supports and allows for an inner state of tranquility. Light a candle, diffuse an essential oil, or cultivate serene scenes with plants and pictures. Cleansing and clearing spaces energetically on a regular basis with smudging techniques, bells, chimes, or singing bowls are further means to help maintain sacred space. Creating external structures that resemble how you wish to feel internally contributes to remaining in a more mindful, conscious state. Chapter 4. Nurturing Relationships. Fundamentally, relationships shape who we are and shape our very lives. They are a key source of motivation and inspiration, as well as the companionship, compassion, and love that we all need to sustain a healthy being. The rich tapestry of our lives is created, thread by thread, in our shared experiences. Countless studies have shown the importance of positive relationships in our lives. In fact, Robert Waldinger, the fourth director of the Harvard Study of Adult Development, summarized more than 75 years of conclusive evidence in the longest study on adult life ever conducted. The simple, overwhelmingly positive message was that strong and mutually supporting family and relationships lead to greater happiness, longevity, and overall health. These relationships are even more important than superior genetics or clean living habits, as they deepen and enrich our lived experiences and create lasting memories, hardwiring our minds and our hearts in profound and subtle ways. The quiet whisper of a sunrise, the first smile of a beloved spouse, the laughter of your child, the reconnection with an old friend, the bond between siblings, all these are reflections of presence. They are not always loud and can be easily forgotten once the circumstances change or the moment passes. But if we stop to notice, we can truly cherish them in our hearts. Every living moment of being together, creating new memories, or in the silent recognition of a loved one's hardships, an offer of a comforting embrace, nurturing relationships, and supporting those who matter most to us is one of the most inherently human things we can do. By bringing ourselves close to those who matter to us, we bring joy, love, and compassion. By building deep connections with others, we are standing side by side with them, navigating their seas during dangerous storms or inspiring them when they need a boost. We also continue to foster personal growth and further ourselves along our journey to an ultimately awakened state of mindfulness. Active listening arises when you listen with passion to the other. Raising the voice to belittle the one who speaks or to impose your point of view is at least incorrect. Not to mention the tone of voice and commands focused on the achievement. A humble approach and tranquility characterize the people listened to. In these cases, you should try to calm the voices down and foster calm in the interlocutors by setting the example with a low tone and by facing the other with the body turned towards him. It is said that people are more predisposed to listen if we tell them something interesting or useful. Despite this, the majority of the topics are interesting if we approach the theme that fascinates us, in the words and in the vivacity of the speaker. The person listened to could feel, in some way, embraced based on our attention. It is therefore wise to listen to not only the useful and important market information that is a huge source of knowledge and learning, but also the personal stories, even if they are not shared by us and inspire little. What appears to be a waste of time could instead find unexpected events to enrich us. Not forgetting that when we feel ready to share our personal stories, we might find ourselves in the opposite situation of not being listened to simply because we have not shared the other's stories. The level of relevance of the topics can decrease depending on our personal attitude. Developing effective communication is crucial for building sound relationships in the workshop, at home, and on the street. From the need to connect and be understood arises the art of listening. But what does it really mean to listen? The essential movements of the body, our mindset, and the capacity for empathy constitute the extension of listening and are fundamental to establish and maintain effective communication. These are the steps of active listening. It consists of physically facing the interlocutor, keeping your body turned in his or her direction. As the other speaks, we show that we are attending by making nods or gestures of approval with the head, like the yes, or however with a thoughtful expression. We alert ourselves to emphasize the speaker on points that we do not understand or on which we are not in agreement, and therefore we can ask for further explanations. Rolling eyes or equally expressive gestures in communication between people can be as much harm. When we have something to say or ask, it is fundamental to avoid interrupting. It is probably one of the actions that we consider more incorrect of a person that does not respect the one who speaks. The sequential process of metabhavana, or loving-kindness meditation, creates the habit of love and empathy in you. So, it is the most effective meditation method for cultivating the habit of empathy. In this unique process of meditation, loving feelings are shared with people for whom we have animosity or tension by categorizing them as relatives, friends, neutral persons, and the individuals for whom we have animosity or equally harsh feelings, from the immediate family, excluding mother, father, siblings, and children, extended family, outside acquaintances, and the present surroundings. This is to ensure the habit of love in one irrespective of our relations and interactions with the individuals. Empathy has a high energy that directly connects your energy with the cosmic energy. An empathetic person directly connects the soul of the other individual in pain through the regulatory mechanism. It has the ability to elevate the level of individual consciousness in you and also contribute to emotional and thus overall mental well-being. In case of physical pain, the nature continues to feel your unacknowledged pain through the regulatory mechanism, and you are never left without the pain. That is the nature of compassion, and empathy is the basic ingredient needed to get compassion. So make empathy a habit by understanding others, their situations, needs, and feelings. Try to feel their problems in such a way that there are no words to feelings. Once you start understanding these nitty-gritties, you can accomplish this state of mind, as Ashtavakra said, free from the restrictions. If we look deeply into God's creation, we will find His hidden love and endless intents. When we realize what God has done, we ought to always be ready to bury our desires, regret, and complaint, and express our deep expression to God. The most effective way to get our life desires and attain success is to do good things. The path to success and abundance is to practice goodness. We need to be mindful, especially not to wane in goodness, no matter how busy we are. Be busy in life, but do not let distractions rob your kindness and eliminate the intention to do goodness in various activities and work. You do not have to worry if you seem to lag behind in life. At the right time, the way to attain success and happiness will be wide open for you, along with open fields offering sustainable abundance. Always be grateful to the Creator, who is always revealing countless goodness among His creatures. Another essential part of mindful living is to express gratitude for all abundant blessings you have, particularly for your health. Sometimes we have some problems with our life and face many issues in our daily activities. Instead of being grateful for all the wealth we have, we often hunger for something we do not possess now. We are grateful for our family, health, and provision of life, but still, we want many more things. We often act as if God cannot present sustenance to our lives, as if God is not able to create beautiful things. He just watches over us feeling sad, even though He never gets tired of arranging our steps. How many times have we been given unpleasant things, but we still go against the compass? How much goodness is already available, but we are not grateful? Gratitude is a powerful force that can transform our lives and our relationships. When we cultivate a grateful heart, we create space for abundance and joy to flow into our lives. It is a practice that requires intention and awareness. We can start by simply pausing each day to reflect on the blessings we have received. Whether it is the roof over our heads, the food on our table, or the love of our family, there is always something to be grateful for. As we deepen our practice of gratitude, we begin to shift our perspective and see the world through a lens of abundance. We become aware of the interconnectedness of all beings and recognize that every act of kindness and generosity has a ripple effect that extends far beyond ourselves. Gratitude opens our hearts and allows us to fully appreciate the beauty and wonder of the present moment. In our relationships, gratitude can be a powerful tool for fostering connection and deepening intimacy. When we express our appreciation and gratitude to others, we create a positive feedback loop of love and positivity. It strengthens the bonds between us and cultivates a sense of trust and mutual support. Gratitude is contagious, and when we share our gratitude with others, it inspires them to do the same. In challenging times, gratitude can be a lifeline that helps us navigate through difficulty with grace and resilience. It reminds us of our inner strength and resourcefulness and gives us the courage to keep moving forward. It allows us to find silver linings in the midst of hardship and to hold on to hope when things seem bleak. Gratitude is a powerful antidote to fear and despair, and it can transform even the darkest of moments into opportunities for growth and healing. Today, I invite you to cultivate a practice of gratitude in your life. Take a few moments to reflect on the blessings that surround you. Write them down, speak them out loud, or simply hold them in your heart. Let gratitude be your guiding light, illuminating the path ahead and infusing every moment with joy and appreciation. As you do, watch as your life unfolds in ways you never imagined possible. Gratitude has the power to transform your life, one moment at a time. Chapter 5. Mindful Self-Care. Living mindfully means attributing equal importance to self-care, either for maintaining good health or promoting health when symptoms have developed. By becoming intentionally aware of the sources of stress and the onset of psychological and physical symptoms due to stress, patients are more empowered to recognize potential changes that can lead to life-threatening outcomes. Categorizing how patients look for help and the practicing mindfulness concepts that can improve their lives regarding a more healthy lifestyle are essential to integrating their perspective into the selection of mindful self-care tools. For those who want to experience mindfulness for the first time, or for those who wish to boost their current mindfulness practices with additional resources, there are numerous exercises and courses, groups, and counselors, as well as independent blogs, books, and videos. Self-care is a vital part of practicing mindfulness and benefits both the physical and mental health components for all individuals. Typical ways for self-care include such activities as eating nutritious food, exercising regularly, avoiding harmful habits, getting a good night's rest, and receiving medical care when needed. Living mindfully also means keeping up a healthy relationship with oneself and taking care of the mind, body, and spirit during times of joy and adversity. Unlike patients with other health issues who might feel pain and discomfort before they begin caring for their symptoms, however, those who experience chronic stress usually don't know the vital sign alerts or symptoms. Additionally, the usual outlets for help, medications, and procedures, although often life-saving, only tend to block symptoms and are more or less silent about the harmful effects of the root causes. Of course, we are still free to choose to do any of this if it pleases us, but we are now armed with self-knowledge that serves us very well in fulfilling our needs and wants. No money premium is laid down anymore for anything. When we say no to offers that do not ring our bells, we free up time, money, and space. Time, money, and space we did not hold within our own power solely because we bought into another entity or succumbed to a habit. While one is still encouraged to retire into playful non-doing, as human beings eventually, we will retire into sleep. We retire into sleep with contentment as we have consciously chosen to wander through the temporal, and in so doing, the internal, our way. We wander in vacation with contentment often. Peace and fulfillment come later. At the end of each evening, we bid adieu to our consciousness. We rest in readiness for the coming morning. We then reacquaint ourselves with our fellow travelers. Family members come the dawn. We reacquaint ourselves with our new and familiar environments. Our delight in finding different things on each and every exploration will never go away. With these thoughts, I sincerely hope you now see that our big why answers our small whys. It is needed at all times. Our households today answer the two whys seamlessly. In the process of exploring and opening the five senses, along with exploring your emotions, thoughts, habits, attitudes, and beliefs, we learn that we do not need nearly as much stimulation as we were led to believe. We only need small amounts of joy bringers strategically placed throughout our day. This includes using all the five senses. We learn when to put a stimulation in the back of the line until we are good and ready for more. When we have explored our emotions, we may not have to talk over every heartfelt matter 100 times or seek the advice of many others to figure out the right course for us. We often have a strong sense of our situation from the get-go. Simply breathing brings me peace, presence, and relaxation. Place all of your attention and breath with your mind and body. Notice how your breath feels as it comes in through your nose and how your chest rises up gently. Exhale slowly from the mouth and pay distinct attention to your breath flowing out. Repeat the cycle 3 times in a row intermittently and longer in times of great anxiety, and direct your complete attention to the breath. As you engage in breath, the restless resistance begins to reduce and your mind becomes quieter momentarily. Over time, make this exercise automatic during periodic breaks at work and at moments when you are not feeling emotionally balanced. Engaging in a moment of appreciation is another simple part of life that connects you with yourself and the world. With appreciation, reflect on the growing grass, how refreshing a bath is, a good conversation you shared, or any other simple moment of contemplation, and allow a full concentration and connection with courage and love for life and everything around you every day. Having a demanding schedule, it is commonly difficult to keep up with the time to fit in the recommended amount of physical activity. Moreover, physical activity in any form is essential for leading a healthier lifestyle. One way of ensuring this would be to schedule physical activities during the week. Choose to do activities that involve the entire body, like swimming, playing tennis, or doing yoga, or otherwise make it a simple activity every time you leave home, such as walking to the nearest grocery store and walking again when coming back. During this time, detach yourself from the thoughts of the past, present, or future. Just be present, engage in the physical activity, and feel your entire body. To increase the present moment experience and overall satisfaction, I personally enjoy doing several short naps during the day, although not recommended, which allows me to fully recharge my body and mind. Similarly, I sometimes reduce the length of the naps when working for long periods to be able to move, stretch, or take pleasant pauses. However you elect to engage in physical activities, I believe it is important to make these activities meaningful and purposeful for better experiences and satisfaction. As mindfulness practice deepens, we may learn to recognize when and how we are reluctant to love and care for ourselves. Compassion for ourselves means no matter how sorry you feel for yourself, you must continue your spiritual development. You are the apple of your own eyes, and you need yourself, most of all, in this journey of life. Therefore, use the inspiration obtained in every possible concern or prayer of that your ego to motivate yourself again. Then continue from where you stopped, no matter how slow or reasonable, no matter how frequently you fall. As our actions reflect this, we will be inspired to practice loving kindness and compassion for others more fully. Self-compassion is the journey of existence of a soul which respects itself. Despite this respect, it recognizes that it is not intra-solidified, but connected to the cries and pains of others. Therefore, it treats every human, every creature, every tiny element of life as it treats itself, with love, respect, mercy, kindness, and compassion, no matter what situation is obtained in life. To speak on mindfulness could not be complete without quickly emphasizing the need to show compassion and love toward oneself every moment. It's a compass to cross the vast ocean of doubts and fears for you. At some vulnerable moments, by glorious vulnerability, I mean those moments when you feel down due to one factor or another, you may feel a strong desire to criticize yourself. Anytime you hear abusive critic going through your mind, say aloud no. The same way you were very emphatic when you called the attention of your puppies in training to stop an act which could lead to destruction. The same way you need to become vehement on the self-criticism, for it will destroy your soul, your ability to be kind, mindful, and loving. Instead, talk to yourself in the language of a mother or father to a child. Comfort yourself the way a best friend would. Most of all, take a continuous deep breath. Remind yourself of observable facts that it wasn't deliberate, that it can be improved on next time, that most times messes like that happen, that it doesn't signify that you are bad. Remind yourself that you are improving and extend a hand of comfort and apology to yourself. Then see how unopened wounds are soothed or gradually healed before your mental eyes. This is the way to show love and compassion to yourself whenever you hear any form of, "Is this not stupid me doing this? Why should I bother to continue?" murmurs. Also remember to forgive yourself. After you talk to yourself with a calming and reassuring voice, please forgive yourself because holding grudges against yourself does more harm to you than your initial errors. It is through forgiveness that you find solace and healing, allowing yourself to grow and evolve. Chapter 8. Mindful Communication. In the realm of mindful communication, it is crucial to recognize that our authentic selves and the goodness within others coexist within each of us. Every conversation should be filled with positivity, honesty, and sincerity, rather than being tainted by the desire to impress or prove one's intelligence, moments of anger, or the need to attack others to assert dominance. We must constantly be aware that our words have the power to impact our dignity, charm, and purity. What brings us peace can also uplift others. By staying relaxed and trusting our instincts, experiences, and judgments, we can communicate our true selves, love, compassion, attention, and understanding, while also supporting and encouraging others. In today's digital age, there is a growing obsession with quick and trendy communication methods. It has become rare to witness two friends sitting down for a heartfelt conversation or two intimate partners engaging in deep, meaningful discussions without fear of hurting or criticizing each other. Due to limited time and space, people often resort to fast and superficial conversations to avoid conflict and disharmony. There is a fear that revealing true thoughts may lead to hurt feelings and misunderstandings. As a result, we have lost touch with ourselves and missed out on opportunities to truly connect and experience compassion and empathy. We are now more obsessed with the past and anxious about the future than ever before. A mindful individual acts purposefully, pays attention to meaning, and measures their words. They may avoid problematic topics in conversation. Nonviolent communication, NVC, follows a four-stage communication process: expressing observations, listing genuine feelings, conveying personal needs, and making concrete requests after careful consideration. These steps should be communicated clearly so that the listener can evaluate whether to fulfill the requests. Saying no is a valid response. When a request is met, genuine gratitude arises, deepening the interpersonal connection. Through mediation processes, both parties can engage in respectful discussions to address their concerns. In this model, it is important to check one's own announcements for implications, generalizations, personal attacks, and replace them with language that relieves pressure and fear for the listener. NVC emphasizes the importance of analyzing and observing one's own attitudes as well as the listener's innermost intentions. It promotes self-responsibility and early recognition of emotional reactions through focused observation of the speaker's physical and vocal cues. By comparing the language used to their own mental concepts, the observer can determine its accuracy. Nonviolent communication, NVC, is a communication style that generates synergy and fosters peace in our personal and professional lives. It is a valuable tool for transforming potentially destructive mindsets into peace-oriented communication and avoiding conflicts caused by misunderstandings. According to Marshall Rosenberg, the founder of NVC, our communication either separates us from or connects us to others. Today, most people only focus on the verbal content of others, prioritize their own goals, and give little thought to their own motives and intentions. The gentle tone of voice, warm countenance, and respectful gestures among friends, as well as the internal tranquility of those who promote peace, truly exemplify the principle of ahimsa, nonviolent bravery, universal harmony, and the spirit of cooperative togetherness. While diplomatic accolades may temporarily preserve peace with those who could pose a threat, it is merely superficial and can easily be disrupted. Therefore, peace must first come from within and operate without difficulties. In my limited understanding, I believe that genuine peace can neutralize the toxins of the individual soul, allowing us to sincerely extend well wishes to all, including our adversaries. To foster peace and take care of our interdependent world, there are two proactive steps in conflict resolution. Firstly, we must cultivate calm and clarity within ourselves, relax our bodies, and breathe tranquilly. Alongside this, we should maintain positive evaluations and optimistic perspectives. Establishing a peaceful rapport, which enables give and take negotiations for conflict resolution, is essential. The mindsets of cooperation and conciliation often evoke reciprocated goodwill. If the response is not positive, maintaining noble-minded equanimity and internal calmness may convince the other party to enter a peaceful state for cooperative harmonization. Nonverbal communication is an incredibly powerful way to convey messages. As it operates below the level of consciousness, nonverbal signals can be more impactful and revealing. In fact, more than half of communication relies on nonverbal means. Therefore, it is crucial to actively emphasize eye contact, gestures, facial expressions, posture, and vocal tone to complement and enrich verbal communication. Positive nonverbal cues help establish rapport, build trust and understanding, respect others' perspectives, acknowledge their feelings, express empathy, and reinforce positivity through words and body language. The foundation of effective listening consists of 4 skills: active listening, nonverbal communication, trigger words, and mirroring. Active listening requires focused attention and refraining from interrupting or dominating the conversation. By practicing active listening, the speaker feels acknowledged and validated, creating an opportunity for positive energy, understanding, and new insights to emerge. Active listening strengthens relationships, reduces conflict, and fosters trust within teams, couples, families, and communities. Remember, the true power of communication lies not only in the words we choose, but also in how we convey them and our presence and receptiveness in conversations. Let us strive to be more mindful, compassionate, and conscious in our communication, for it has the potential to transform our relationships and create a more harmonious world. Chapter 7: Mindfulness in Daily Life. Loving kindness teaches us a lot about the flaws in our typical relationships. We usually only seek contentment when we feel like something is missing in our lives. In our interactions, we often push against what we don't want to experience, only occasionally working together to align our lives with our ideals. However, in our day-to-day lives, we usually prioritize what's best for ourselves. Loving kindness, on the other hand, focuses not only on our own happiness, but also on the happiness of everyone we encounter, even those we simply think about. One way to practice this is by imagining concentric circles surrounding us and filling each one with people we wish well. We start with ourselves, then move on to friends and family, then acquaintances and strangers, and eventually even our enemies. Other practices for daily mindfulness may involve setting aside time during typically mundane activities like cleaning, commuting, or waiting in line in order to fully experience and embrace the present moment without any aversion. This meditative practice is meant to be integrated into our everyday lives. Practicing in isolation provides an opportunity to train our minds in their purest form, which can then be applied to daily life when faced with difficulties. Food, with all its sensory richness, is often overlooked as a potential focus for mindfulness. We can enrich the role it plays in our lives by taking the time to appreciate it more fully. Cultivating gratitude for abundance is easier than trying to be grateful during scarcity. Mindful living can start with something as simple as mindful eating. It serves as a quick and easy introduction to beginning the journey towards mindfulness. Similarly, walking the path becomes easy and straightforward when we are mindful of our current position. It becomes unnecessary and avoidable to face unseen obstacles and challenges. Many of us approach life's game with a desire for complexity and difficulty, turning even ordinary and simple things into hurdles and struggles. In doing so, ordinary human life becomes fragile, challenging, frustrating, uncertain, fearful, and filled with suffering and insecurities. However, the ordinary moments of wonder, mystery, and beauty in the world hold profound significance. There is essential joyfulness in the ordinary and simple act of mindful eating. To be mindful means to live purposefully, intentionally holding on to the present moment and fully embracing and appreciating its quality with complete presence, harmony, tenderness, and contentment. Even in moments filled with struggles, unhappiness, doubts, uncertainties, or fears, focusing our attention on our breath can lead us into a deep sense of absolute peace. As human beings, we are all familiar with breathing, but often unaware of the full potential of utilizing it consciously. Our breath naturally continues day and night, graciously blessed by the energy in the brain, but without engaging our full intelligence. While working, we often fall into the trap of conducting the same task repeatedly and going into autopilot mode, while part of our mind is preoccupied with other thoughts. This is how we plant the seed of suffering. We frequently go through life without taking the time to appreciate its beauty and without truly living in the present, which is the only time that truly matters. We should strive to be mindful while walking, eating, driving, working, or doing any task. Dwelling in the past or the future prevents us from fully showing up and causes us to miss out on the beauty of life. Even when something amazing happens right next to us, we tend to be absent-minded and fail to fully experience it. This is the sadness of life. Mindfulness is a personal responsibility that each of us must take on. We don't need to use words or any external aids to practice mindfulness. We always have the opportunity to take a breath and calm ourselves down, as breathing is something we do continuously. Living with every breath and being fully present in each moment will open up the door to appreciating the beauty of life. After sharing about mindful eating, I have received many requests to share more about mindful practices. Today, I would like to talk about mindful work practices, which we go through every day. First and foremost, let's define what it means to be mindful. I usually describe it as embracing presence for inner peace and fulfillment. Essentially, Mindfulness is about training our minds to be present in the current moment rather than constantly dwelling on the past or the future. Practicing mindfulness at work allows us to slow down, focus our attention and energy, and fully dedicate ourselves to each task. This enables us to complete our work accurately and efficiently. When we do one thing at a time, we can avoid mistakes that would require us to redo our work due to lack of attention. I was taught by my father to maintain attention, and as a result, I am mindful of my technology usage. I intentionally disable notifications on my Apple Watch and only allow important messages to come through. I limit my social media activity to the Veritan homepage, and I only use certain apps while on the subway. I postpone notifications that can wait and create a peaceful environment for myself. Instagram and Twitter never intrude on my mornings and nights. Until a new generation of phones or computers convinces me of their silence, I justify the number of devices and screens I use as a consequence of my technology-driven life. The early pioneers of the digital revolution dreamed of bringing people together, but it seems that the internet has actually isolated us from real-life experiences. The inability to pay attention and appreciate what is right in front of us is now recognized as a major problem that affects people of all ages worldwide. Ironically, the internet and smartphones were meant to expand our minds, yet our attention is constantly being exploited by technology giants. Our lives have become smaller and more confined, restricted by seemingly limitless distractions. Who would have thought? According to Matthew Crawford, the founder of the Institute for Thought and Machine Work, this is all a form of cheap labor, our attention being harvested by big tech companies. Money has become the tool for capturing our valuable attention from advertisements and marketing that aim to take more of our time away from our loved ones. Chapter 8. Cultivating Mindful Habits. Synchronizing mindfulness with your daily routines will not only help you stay present, but it will also build and strengthen your level of mindfulness. It is like every minute of every day, you train and nourish your mindful mind, you transform it into a habit. And the best time spent enjoying clear presence is when you engage in a routine activities so habitual that the mind does not need your guidance to perform it. As your mouth washes its cup, as your tea in its saucer, as your such in its envelope, as your thumb pages through a novel, as your hand pulls the oar or taps the drum, let thoughts of meaningful moments perform congenially in your mind. Mindful habits are the basis of a mindful life. You cannot truly be present in life only when you've attended a meditation session. You cannot be peaceful and calm only once a week during a yoga class. A mindful life means being fully present all the time, living with acceptance, gratitude, and grace, noticing the miracles that occur each second. Discovering a mindful life is discovering your true life, your life as it is meant to be, a life of inner peace, self-discovery, growth, and true fulfillment. And the easiest way to embrace this life is to form mindful habits. Create a routine built on rich, healthy, nourishing, and mindful habits. Find a habit to foster spirituality and inner peace, one to take care of your body, one to ensure your emotional health, one to strengthen your relationships, one to learn something new each day, and one to share with others. This will help you live your life in the present moment and enjoy every second. It is too easy not to do it. Mindful eating, mindless eating, consuming junk food, and impurities lead to the body full of toxins, cravings, dysfunctional digestion, and emotional irritation. To be fulfilled with the food we eat, fulfilled on the emotional level, and satisfied with our body and energy, we need to cultivate mindfulness. We need to appreciate, chew, and sense the food while we eat. How to make it more exciting? I often advocate for eating only using hands because as humans, our hands are too good and well-created tools to get dirty with food. Consider eating only juicy and tempting fruits like strawberries, grapefruit, kiwi, oranges, or watermelon, with sticky and messy hands like children. This will force you to slow down, to smell the fruit, to bring it closer to your eyes to observe it in detail, to feel the temperature, texture, to lick the juice, to take a bite, and to chew well. I assure you that the whole eating experience will get then more exciting and fulfilling like you were experiencing each fruit for the very first time. Mindful breathing for setting your intention. Every morning, I spend some time lying on the bed and directing my breath to the areas of my body that feel any discomfort, like my fingers, back, eyes, throat, stomach, etc. I also take a few deep breaths, directing them to my forehead, sometimes covering my eyes with the hands, keeping the attention inside, and sometimes pressing my jaw against my hands. The purpose of this ritual is to show gentle care for myself, take care of my pain, start directing my attention inwards, and focusing on what really matters in my life, my connections with the beloved ones, fulfilling my dreams and my potential. It's about setting the intention of what I want to feel and accomplish during the day. Daily life leaves us stressed, exhausted, disconnected, unhappy, unfulfilled, unhealthy, and unfocused. These are the results of not living presently and mindfully. Daily mindfulness practice helps us to maintain connection, focus, clarity, and our centered and calm self. There are a few most effective mindfulness exercises that we can use every day and combine with other activities. Start a journal. Life keeps throwing arrows of suggestions at us: what to work on, how to carry them out, and what the next step is. Journal. Start with clarity of mind. If you have a blog post, skip to step 3. Try to separate yourself from all the noise and interpret it in a simple, straightforward manner by writing in your journal. Brain tinker creates unnecessary complexity. Writing maintains a clear trail of thoughts. This will offer you mental rest because you cannot waste the time by spending a number of brain hours asking yourself repetitive concerns, phrasing the correct reply in a lovely, sophisticated, well-fashioned manner, narrowing down the subject in a fashion that feels as though an exclusive invitation to lunch is being sent to it. Feel the beginning of the day. The instant you feel your stretch ripple across your cheeks, open your eyes to a whole new day. Connect in your mind the actual rituals with the feelings that transpire within you. Discover serenity. Slow down and meditate on the morning by doing your routine tasks meticulously from start to finish. Enjoy the stillness of your smooth skin's nourishment that contrasts with the roughness of forest-scented facial scrub particles. While shivering under your bath, feel your scent as it bites in its dance with the moisture under your arms. This can be time alone or shared with a loved one. Breathe in the tranquility of the morning as if dawning from every pore of your body. Sometimes our mind can sabotage us into wrong thinking patterns. Mindful journaling can go a long way in helping you achieve inner peace and be present. To make sure everything is real, the art of mindful journaling interweaves a structured journaling practice with the present moment by focusing activities in the most basic of movements. If you want the next 24 hours to enhance your life or to let the optimal life out of it, start with these vital activities. When we sang lullabies to our children that we put to bed, I had to understand that we were not focused on what we sang to them. Instead, we constantly talked and ran without our minds. We thought about what we used to do for many years. I did not have time to follow those words. From what we can admit from this habit: fall asleep when you repeat a prayer, listen to someone's words, sing a lullaby. During the regular repetition, we focus on what we said, sing, or who we directed prayer to more than once. If you practice yourself to give thanks in this way before you sleep, each time your meaning is more useful and deep, and everyone sees the change. In the last study, our subject of investigation is the physical and spiritual practice of gratitude. It was written that practicing gratitude increases our self-evaluation, self-esteem, reduces stress, decreases symptoms of chronic pain, improves morale, motivation, and optimism, improves sleep, connects with others, increases energy, interest, and determination. Strengthening gratitude also reduces negative emotions such as envy, hostility, resentment, and increases resistance and mental strength in overcoming injustice. Helps to show empathy and to see the good side of everything. I will present you with an analogy and a simple way of falling asleep in the company of gratitude to strengthen love and knowledge of yourself and increase the pattern of wakefulness from dreams in favor of reality. Chapter 9. Mindful Parenting. In silence, take a pledge at dawn that you would make each passing moment vibrant with mindful smiles. Make your mindfulness shine in your body language too, and be aware of the words you speak. Assure them of the security of your presence. Get more friends for your kids in the garden. In the garden, their innocent hearts and tender eyes get to meet the winged beings, butterflies flitting from one to another, greens glistening with drops of morning dew, exciting colors of petals of vibrant flowers adorning the courtyard, little red eyes happily searching for cereals with their partners, joyful chirping birds, tiptoeing squirrels, dancing peacocks, and tiny ants grouped in long queues entrusted with big jobs, and many more. To have greater mindfulness and enjoyment while being with kids, follow the below tips. First, get up and then wake your children. In silence, observe the beauty of nature and the sacredness of silence. Adore the face of your children in silence. Witness their breath, golden eyelashes, fingers, and the flow of vital fluid. Speak in whispers and make them begin the day in the holy spirit of silence. Allow your kids to take sweet time to welcome the sun of a new day. A good action of yours during this precious time is enough to update the software of their heart and make them feel bubbly. Yes, your smile, the vibe of your touch, kindness of your words, and the fragrance of your presence are good enough to make your kids blossom. The parents who are seeking to raise emotionally balanced kids have to be at their peak role to influence and shape the character traits of kids through direct tutoring, practical, and idealistic values. Love is the essential ingredient to be present with your kids. In order to instill sound values and responsibilities, one needs to take time to explain basic principles other than keeping away, while one is busy with their other commitments. Parents need not feel that the bouncy love shown by your kids is forced out one. Their love springs out of the showers of love shown by the parents on a daily basis. It is by being present, assisting the kids in completing their work, motivating them when it is required, and even seeking mental support from them when the kids are out of tune or messy because of their certain actions. Your children are countable as the most important contingent to be present with. Mindful parenting is a thing one has to follow if you are a true seeker of inner peace and fulfillment. Since children view you as their role model, they inherently will adopt the mannerisms and habits which they can see or feel from their dear parents. If you do not find time for taking care of your kids and their problems, they will feel the same when you are in need. Children really need your loving attention. They need you to look at them from a place of presence, loving kindness, and patience. As they need space to learn, they need an assured environment to feel comfortable and courageous, which is another aspect to be kept in mind. Teaching mindfulness to children acknowledges their inherent ability to lead an ideal sage-like life, a life imbued with inner calm, acceptance, and self-compassion, a life lived in a spirit of non-judgmental loving awareness toward the realization of both human and spiritual potential. Encouraging mindfulness in children is not about teaching them something new. They already possess this ability. It is about nurturing that awareness, helping them to notice it more often, and maybe understanding it more deeply. Let us be the loving adult reminder of the beautiful child that exists in all of us. Just like learning anything for the first time, adults, the teachers, and the parents often require tools. These are some lovely ways, through stories, songs, simple techniques, and activities, to remind the teachers of the lesson we have forgotten. The practices are equally suitable for teachers to help them build their own, and in turn, teach mindfully in the classroom. Each one of these activities should be followed by a short, silent time to absorb and reflect on the awareness that is experienced. Children are the natural mindfulness practitioners. They best understand being present in the moment, completely immersed in the world with no thoughts of the future or the past. Bringing mindful awareness to children allows them to naturally evolve their relaxation response and guide them deeper into their inner peace and innate wisdom. Traditionally, adults could become intelligent through the acquisition of knowledge and wisdom, but it takes a child completely absorbed and happy just to be in the moment to render the adult totally mindless and to reestablish him or her immediately in their present awareness. Before TV or iPads or smartphones existed, children had the innate wisdom to remind adults what life is all about. Allowing patience and presence each day enables the opportunity to notice the unique experiences and stories of our family members. As an individual enters conversations mindfully listening and not immediately reacting to news or requests, we open the door for connection. As a family, find opportunities to laugh together and bond as a unit through board game nights, walks in nature, or cooking together. While traditional family meals are no longer easy to always orchestrate, find time each evening, whether breakfast, lunch, or dinner, to engage with one another as you share a meal and conversation. Balance the value in physical community and in the digital world. Educate and guide your family members to avoid distracted living by scheduling off times when the family focuses solely on time spent together without digital connections. Put your phones in a designated location, turn away from screens and towards loved ones. Form the habit of engaging in activities mindfully. Strive to remove automatic functionality from your day-to-day interactions. Whether brushing your teeth together, focusing on bristles, sweeping away yesterday's residue, or silently sending your partner gratitude as they grate cheese for tonight's dinner, mindfulness allows opportunity for presence. In this age of distraction, consciously bringing our drained attention back to the relationships that matter the most is crucial in creating a mindful family. A family unit, from parenting to partnering, is an opportunity for trial and error, a place to develop and deepen our skills in decision-making and effective communication styles. In order for families to grow as a unit, the needs of individuals must also be considered. As a family engages in meaningful, mindful actions together, you will witness your children and partners with a foundation of self-reflection, emotional intelligence, and stress resilience. If you found this content enriching and valuable, we would be deeply grateful if you could express your appreciation through liking and subscribing. Your support is incredibly meaningful and enables us to continue creating content that resonates with you. For those who think this is a great gift for yourself or for your loved ones, you can find the link in the description.